Forget about Alien, Predator, or The Shining, because the extraterrestrials you are about to see right now are real little gray men hailing from a distant, very distant galaxy. At least, that's what the honorable ufologist James Monson claims, as he testified under oath before the Mexican Congress about the undeniable authenticity of his discovery. And what a discovery it is! It's nothing less than two extraterrestrial mummies, dating back over a millennium, or so it seems. So, are we really dealing with a genuine case that proves we are not alone in the universe? Or could it be an elaborate hoax concocted by cunning individuals on a quest for fame? Well, that's what we're going to try to find out in this exciting video, so get comfortable because we're starting right away. If 2020 was the year of COVID, then 2023 is undoubtedly the year of extraterrestrials, leaving skeptics scratching their heads. Since the beginning of the year, U.S. intelligence has reported a significant increase in UFO sightings all over the United States. Most of these sightings have been made by military or civilian aircraft pilots, and some of them have even been documented. It's as if an extraterrestrial invasion is quietly brewing in the galactic background. And to top it all off, 3 former senior U.S. military officials testifying before a congressional committee have made utterly sensational statements. Hold on to your seats, because according to these ex-senior officers, the U.S. government is not only in possession of spacecraft debris, but also non-human biological products. Understand, this means that the Pentagon has the remains of extraterrestrial bodies, maybe even nearly intact extraterrestrial corpses collected from various UFO crash sites. Of course, don't expect Uncle Sam to decide all of a sudden to show us these little green or gray men. It's up to you. Classified as top secret, this dossier probably languishes in the 9th basement of the Pentagon's archives, locked behind a 2-meter-thick armored door. So, we'll probably never get the chance to see these curious extragalactic specimens, and we may never know whether this whole story is ultimately true or false. But if the United States doesn't want to show us their extraterrestrials, their Mexican neighbors are much less discreet on the matter. Because it's in Mexico, the land of chilies and sombreros, that a journalist named Jimmy Mosen decided to break the silence and reveal his phenomenal discovery to the world. It's indeed Jimmy Mosen, a famous reporter and television personality, and occasionally a UFO specialist. Mosen presented what he describes as undeniable scientific proof of the existence of extraterrestrials before his country's parliament. These are 2 mummies of very small stature, with elongated skulls and only 3 fingers on each hand. These fossilized bodies were supposedly discovered in Cusco, Peru, deep within a diatom mine, and according to carbon-14 dating, they are over 1,000 years old. Interestingly, these 2 extraterrestrial specimens seem to resemble Prandra Tai, the hero of Steven Spielberg's eponymous film. Jimmy Mosen swore under oath that these mummies are indeed real and that they only attest to one thing: we are not alone in the universe. This news may delight UFO enthusiasts and fans of Star Wars and Star Trek, but it should still be taken with a grain of salt. It's possible that this whole story is nothing but a tall tale, as the saying goes, and that this so-called extraterrestrial revelation is nothing more than a story someone wants us to swallow without dressing. Don't forget to click here to subscribe if you enjoyed this video and activate the notification bell so you won't miss any of our videos. Let's continue. This wouldn't be the first time that James Monson is involved in an extraterrestrial hoax. In fact, back in 2015, the Mexican journalist had tried to convince the world that he possessed the fossilized corpse of an extraterrestrial. This mummy was supposedly discovered near the Nazca site in Peru, a site famous for its mysterious geoglyphs. These enormous drawings of animals and insects etched into the rocky ground remain an enigma for researchers and archaeologists to this day. Some wild theories even suggest that this site is somehow connected to extraterrestrials. Therefore, the discovery of an extraterrestrial mummy near this area created a media frenzy and captured the world's attention. An event called Be Witness was organized by Mosen to showcase his discovery. But in reality, the fossilized extraterrestrial presented was nothing more than the mummified body of a young child. Anthropologists demonstrated that the elongated skull of this mummy resulted from an ancient practice of artificial cranial deformation. In fact, in some pre-Columbian civilizations, infants had their heads bound from birth with fabric or rope, likely to emphasize their belonging to a particular group. The alleged extraterrestrial was nothing more than the mummy of a young Aztec, Maya, or Zapotec child that the unscrupulous Mosen didn't hesitate to modify to pass it off as an extraterrestrial corpse. The rather Machiavellian process involved creating a kind of collage of bones from various sources, including a dog's bone. Mosen managed to give this mummy a somewhat otherworldly appearance, which allowed him to deceive many gullible people. The Mexican journalist repeated the same lie in 2017 as part of a pseudo-scientific documentary published on the Gaiapu website. A den of conspiracy theorists and enthusiasts of all kinds. A team of filmmakers working for the site had indeed joined the Mexican ufologist Anastas in Peru to film the excavation of an extraterrestrial mummy. We consistently find this link between an extremely famous archaeological site, with its immense geoglyphs, and the presence of an extraterrestrial mummy unearthed in the vicinity. A winning formula for Mosen, which piques the curiosity of enthusiasts of the unusual, as well as for the website that offers paid subscriptions to its visitors. But what about this video, really? Is it tangible evidence of the existence of extraterrestrials? Or is it just another sequence in this ocean of shameless lies? In truth, the documentary series offered by the Gaia.com website simply reveals a mummy with a humanoid appearance, albeit with an elongated skull and 3 long fingers and toes on each limb. The alleged extraterrestrial also has a nose but lacks ears, having simple holes where they should normally be. Carbon-14 dating conducted by an independent laboratory reveals that this strange calcified body dates back several centuries. At first glance, this mummy is authentic, but nothing tells us that it is of extraterrestrial origin. It could very well be the fossilized corpse of a disabled person or someone with congenital malformations. James Mosen could have altered the general appearance of this mummy by, for example, shaping its long fingers with human or animal bones. They could have easily remodeled its face, creating these auditory orifices, all with the aim of passing it off as a non-human creature. However, even though we smell the scam from miles away, we still cannot assert with certainty either the origin of this mummy or the cause of its apparent deformities. This brings us back once again to the 2 mummies that James Mosen unveiled before the Mexican parliament, claiming they are mummified extraterrestrial bodies. Their small size, elongated heads, and 3 fingers on each limb suggest they belong to the same alien race as those found by Jem near the Nazca site. But this could also prove that these are, once again, just modified mummies of pre-Columbian children to make them appear as something they are not. With Mosen's track record of falsifying evidence, one is more tempted to believe in the latter hypothesis. Nevertheless, James Mosen continues to boldly assert that these mummies are indeed real and certainly not from a terrestrial civilization. The Mexican ufologist ultimately discredits all those who might have any evidence of extraterrestrial existence or who may have witnessed UFO sightings. Already stigmatized, these individuals will, in fact, think twice before sharing their testimonies, which, unlike Mosane's baseless claims, are genuinely well-founded. After all, while no one can prove the existence of extraterrestrials, it remains a fact that many people have been confronted with mysterious celestial phenomena at some point or another. Many have indeed spotted UFOs, and UFOs mean extraterrestrials, right? Well, not entirely correct, because the mystery of UFOs could have a much simpler and logical explanation. Among these, we could mention weather balloons, large air balloons used to collect high-altitude weather and meteorological data. Many celestial phenomena can thus be explained in a much less poetic and unusual way than a flying saucer. For instance, military stealth aircraft have often been mistaken for UFOs, such as the SR-71 Blackbird or the F-117 Nighthawk, to name a few. Other optical and atmospheric phenomena have also been interpreted as UFOs by observers, including ball lightning, will-o'-the-wisps, St. Elmo's fire, or even auroras. Sometimes even Sirius, the brightest star in the night sky, is mistaken for a UFO because its intense twinkling resembles artificial light. And what about the ISS, the famous International Space Station, which orbits above Earth, along with a constellation of satellites and space debris that constantly revolves above our heads? All these objects can resemble UFOs to some extent, and lacking precise identification, we continue to believe in the most unusual version, namely that they are extraterrestrial vessels visiting us. But the truth is that we are likely alone in the universe, as sad and frightening as that may seem. In the vastness of interstellar space, Earth is probably the only planet that can support life because all the conditions are met, starting with the presence of liquid water on its surface. Indeed, none of the planets in the solar system possesses such a resource, water, which is necessary for life. Even when gazing billions of light years into space, you will find no sign of extraterrestrial life, let alone intelligent beings. Well, folks, it's time to wrap things up here. But before we go, let's remember that the universe has a great sense of humor. After all, it made us, right? As we navigate the cosmos together, let's keep the spirit of curiosity alive and our eyes on the stars. Who knows what mysteries and cosmic punchlines are out there waiting for us to discover? Don't forget to give that like button a little cosmic hug, subscribe for more stellar content, and ring that notification bell like it owes you a funny space joke. So, until our next cosmic rendezvous, keep smiling, keep stargazing, and keep being the amazing space explorers you are. Thanks for joining us, and may your adventures be as bright as a supernova.